Hi everyone, welcome back on THF. Easy way to become a fashion designer. Today we are considering easy calculation in pattern drafting. So let's go. Now to draft a top, I'm just making an illustration. The neck, the shoulder slope, the armhole, and the waist down to the hem. Now, in this diagram, I consider the length of the top. I'll consider the shoulder, which is from here. This is the shoulder, the length of the top. Now, from this place, I consider the bust circumference, which is this bust circumference. Later, I consider the waist, which is from here to here. So I have my waist circumference, and down to the hip circumference, which I have hip circumference. Now solution to the calculation I have, because I'm considering bust measurements, I have the waist measurement, the hip measurements. I consider the full length. Now I consider the armhole. Now with this, now to calculate for the bust, now I'm using size 12 and size 12. I'm using size 12, all the measurements. So for the bust is 36 inches. The waist is 34 inches. The hip is 40 inches. The full length of the top, full length of the top is 23 inches. Now, my armhole, now I need to consider the upper chest, which is also called armhole, which is also called the armhole. I am going to use bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Now, to take from the beginning, now the bust, which is equals to 36 inches, so solution to it, I have 36 inches divided by 4. It gives me 9 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Now I go down to the waist circumference now. Waist circumference, which is 34 inches. 34 inches divided by 4, it gives me 8.5 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. So I have 10.5. Now to my hip circumference, which is 40 inches divided by 4, I have 10 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. I have 12 inches. Now I consider the shoulder measurement. Which is equals to 15 inches, 15 inches, and I have 15 inches divided by 2 equals to 7.5 plus ½ inch to join the sleeve back to the shoulder. So I now have 8 inches. All the horizontal measurement is divided by 4 except shoulder measurement, which is divided by 2. Now step to it now. I'm using a rectangle. This is a rectangle. So from the rectangle, the length of the rectangle will stand for the full length of the top, while the width of the rectangle will represent the hip circumference. Likewise, if it is the tummy, the person is someone that is very fat, that has a big tummy, you consider the widest part of the body. In this place, the hip measurement is 40 inches. If the tummy in this place is 44, we are going to use the 44 inches to construct this rectangle. Now with this rectangle, the length of the top, the wideness, which is the hip, and I have a completed rectangle. So in this rectangle now, I now consider the shoulder from this edge, the shoulder measurement, which is 15 inches divided by 2, we have 7.5 inches plus half inch to give me 8 inches. Now from this point, I drop it there now. So now from this edge, I'm going to measure the bust length, which is 10 inches. So 10 inches, this is the level of the 10 inches. From this point again, the shoulder again, I still come down to measure the half length, which is the waist. At this place now, and I have 16 inches at this place. Now down to the other side. Now after considering all the horizontal measurements, I'll go back to consider the vertical measurement. The vertical measurements, the bust length, I consider the waist length. I also consider the hip level. Now the measurement, the bust measurement, which is 36 divided by 4 to give me 9 inches plus 2, I have it here, which is equals to 11 inches. At the waist level, which is 34 inches divided by 4 to give me 8.5 plus 2 inches, it gives me 10.5. This is my 10.5 measurement. So at the hip level now, which is 40 inches circumference, so 40 divided by 4, it gives me 10 inches plus 2 inches, which now give me 12 inches. So there is need for me now to connect. This is just a freehand connection, and I'll connect this point to this point. I connect this point to this point. Now with this rectangle I'm having here left, now I need my upper chest. To get the upper chest, I'm going to use bust divided by 6. So now the bust here is 36 inches divided by 6, which gives me 6 inches plus 1.5 inches, which gives me 7.5. So from this junction, I'm going to measure. Before then, I'm going to take 1 inch down because our shoulder is not straight. It has a sloping form. So at this point, I now take measurement of my 7 inches, which is this. Now this is now where my upper chest is. So from this place, I make a connection to this. Now back to this place, I get my neck measurement. And my neck, to get my neck measurements, I take round my neck round, which is 16 inches divided by 4. This gives me 4 inches. So now I have, for the wideness of the neck, I have 4 inches here, and the depth of the neck, I also have 4 inches. You can also have 5 inches. Your neck depends on, the style of the neck depends on the wideness and the depth that the client needs. So we have this now, and I connect this point to my shoulder slope. Me seeing this, to get my armhole now, I'm going to divide the upper chest line that I'm having here. I will divide it by 2. So at the point, at the middle point, I'm going to put my French curve, and I connect it down to this. So at this point, I have my basic toe. So this is just the rough parts of it, of the drafting. So with this now, at the next topic now, we are going to see how we construct it with the issue of our instruments.